Hello folks, and welcome back to more Silent Hill F. So you might have heard me pontificate in the previous episodes about whether getting the other endings for this game would be worth it. A lot of people say, yeah, you should get all the endings, and then the actual time and effort it takes to get what is sometimes just one cutscene that's changed slightly is kind of a little bit more hassle than it's worth occasionally when it comes to kind of playing games on YouTube or streaming them. But I asked a couple of friends and they said that actually the other endings for Silent Hill F are really worth it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up my first playthrough here, and then there'll be a little cut, and then with some of the knowledge from New Game Plus that I've been equipped with, you will get to watch me basically react to the other endings that we will witness together. That's what my plan is going to be, so that you can kind of see me have the Silent Hill F experience without me recording myself running around in the same circles like 5 times or however many endings there are. But I felt like that would be a good way to kind of do the more complete experience, because from what I hear for Silent Hill F, it does flesh out the story quite a lot. These are some really mangled looking these fox faces always crack me up. They're always a bit kind of like, I'm not 100% right, but I'm very polite. They all look a bit kind of mangled to me. But yeah, I wanted to at least react to the other endings and show what I think about them, because I think briefly from what I've heard, even if I did just stop after the first ending for this game, I wouldn't really have a complete understanding of what was going on, so it wouldn't be that satisfying to hear me try and guess what the story is about and then just never really find out on camera anyway. So, anyway, family physician's log, February 13th, dawn. Mr. Hidetoshi and his wife had passed away one after the other. At time of death, the skin all over their bodies was covered in sores and had begun sloughing off. I don't think I've ever heard that term before. Sloughing off. The smell was indescribably awful. I could not bear to take a closer look. The head of the house did not give permission to perform autopsies on the bodies, so it's really hard to work out what's going on. There will be no funeral, and they will be sent to be cremated immediately. February 14th, midnight, night after, the eldest son has passed away. Again, there will be no funeral, and the body will be sent away for cremation. The eldest and second-born daughters are also experiencing symptoms that are worsening by the hour. I believe they will be in critical condition by tomorrow at the latest. Oh. So is this some sort of transmissible skin disease? God, I hope not. You know, there were a couple of periods in Japan's history, or one period in particular. Oh, I have very vague memories of reading articles about this for some classes for a few weeks back in the day, where there was some kind of man-made pollution that caused environmental damage in Japan, and I think some people got sick or died from it. It was quite a big shock. It might have been in the 1960s, actually. That might be kind of connected, because it does feel like the time and place is very important to tell the story of this, obviously. You know, I know it sounds really dumb, but... Oh, he still got it. Oh, maybe not. Oh, hello? Would you? Hinako, stop flailing around after being stabbed a bit, please. Oh yes, I've got the soul siphon, that heals me, doesn't it? I forgot about that. But yeah, I wonder if that's part of this kind of disease that's about to claim a lot of people here, that might be influencing the town. Ryukishi is quite good at having multiple real world multiple kind of elements, particularly that are happening in a historical period in Japan at the time, kind of all having some impact on the story in some regards. So I wouldn't be shocked if that's also part of it. He kind of weaves different themes together quite well in my experience. Even stories that feel like they're in a bubble when he writes them, they tend to actually be impacted. He does his research. If he decides to set something in a certain place at a certain time, he tends to kind of research what was going on, and it becomes part of it. Oh, hang on. That's what I'm supposed to do. Yeah, I was thinking actually after the last session that excuse me, I can't remember if I said it, so apologies if this is me repeating myself, which happens a lot. But I think that she... Oh, it's you again. Hello. Springfield's answer to the question no one asked coming through here. What do you want? The more that Hinako begins to resemble a fox, the more it's like she's gone through kind of almost like ritual, ceremonial kind of activities with Mr. Foxman, which kind of is implying that they're getting married to each other. So it's like she's becoming a fox herself. I don't know if the ending... So I'm guessing... I don't 100% know the mechanics of the endings just yet, but I don't know if Saint Hilef is... Oh, I love this room. Is this Fox? You know. Stupid joke. Is he, you know, the Fox? I don't know if Silent Hill F is a bit like Silent Hill 2, for example, where you can just get different endings on your first playthrough, or if it's like you always get one ending on the first playthrough and then you can get other ones afterwards. I'm gonna like find out about all of that. And then afterwards, when you see me reacting to the other endings, I'll have like the knowledge and stuff of how it all works. Hopefully, anyway. I hope so. Please stop streaming. You're making my life very annoying. Oh my god, would you just let me counterattack? Yeah, see, I'm having that. The other problem with games like this that are all about counterattacking well is that you get into that weird situation where you almost don't want to attack because you're just waiting for counterattack. Just let me have my anime Devil May Cry moments, please. Thank you. This Soul Siphon thing is great, though. Big fan of that. I'm guessing by this point, though, a lot of you who are watching have probably already seen all the other endings, or you know about it, so it'll be a kind of retroactive joy where you're watching me react to it. Could be quite fun. A badge with something carved into it. It looks like a black sparrow. Yeah, there's definitely a kind of... They're using birds as like metaphors for different people in the game, I presume. Especially the family. But I'm not kind of... I kind of still need to join the dots, but I'm getting the kind of vague... I'm seeing the stars in the sky, I'm just not fully got the constellation yet kind of thing. Housemaid's note. Shortly after I became their maid, there was talk of an arranged marriage for the young heir to a noblewoman. This led to their heir unceremoniously ending all his scandalous relationships with women, including one with a young housemaid named Sachie. Sachie came from a family of... A hamlet, I almost called it, of poor farmers, but her beauty shone brighter than the sun. Ah, of course, the classic. We're not supposed to be arranged to be married to each other, but I think she's dead hot in it, so what do I do? Situation. Something that had caught the young heir's eye. By the time his marriage was being arranged, she already had a life growing inside her. Oh, and the two had made vows to run away and start a new life together. And yet the young heir cruelly and wantonly cast her aside. Likely he simply did not want his prospective marriage to be ruined. So the Tsunekis kicked Sachie out and drove her to some far-off place where they could forget her existence, despite the peace of the family she carried with her. People say that she was fighting back tears so hard that blood began to trickle from her eyes. Of course, one of those type of situations where it's probably quite easy for the men to sort of cast aside the unwanted children and the kind of problems, and there's a kind of pressure from these like families to uphold names and tradition and get rid of scandals. So in that case, because he's the young heir and he's a man, it's easy for them to just be like, all right, just make her disappear. Her and the baby can just not exist and everything's fine, and Sachie just gets like the absolute roughest end of the stick completely. And he basically gets, like, not complete freedom, but he basically just gets to be like, okay, you can just do this again and just do what we tell you. Oh, this is a very precious charm. Hound. Calling that a hound is, I mean, it is, but it's just a little friend. Slightly restores current max sanity after defeating enemies. I don't really need that at the moment, because I'm in... What does the fox say mode? How do these work again? There we go. I was going to say, wait a minute. I forgot that's the walls that I bleed away, apparently, is the verb I'll use. Slowing off. Oh, hello. I'm back here again. So this is a puzzle, huh? Because there's many notches, and I have to follow the fox lineage. Do I have all of the doodads, though? I've only got one doodad. Prove your intent with the crests 3. Yeah, I should have 3 crests. Let the line of foxes guide you. I think I should try and get the other crests, if possible, before I start thinking about it. Oh! Abandoned once and for all, familial ties must be severed. Okay. You know, if it is an arranged marriage thing that they're going for with Hinako, it does kind of imply that you, like, because she's a lady, she would be leaving her family and joining another. And like the previous scenes with Mr. Fox Mask, pardon me, have gotten more and more kind of like a marriage. So I wonder if that's kind of what they're going for. Just gonna double save. I mean, some sort of like arranged marriage, because a lot of people might not really realize that Japan actually used to have arranged marriages. It wasn't like absolutely everyone that did it, but it was a part of Japanese culture. The Tsunekis are the most notable family in this area and are known for their wealth. For generations, each head of the family has possessed a talent for business, an acumen they have utilized during times of social unrest to amass a large fortune. However, given that a great many suffered while they grew rich, their actions have often drawn envious eyes. When I first entered into service for the Tsunekis, my grandmother shares some of the many rumors that swirl around the family. Each time the world falls to pieces, the Tsunekis' treasury only grows larger. The Tsunekis are happily waiting for misfortune to strike so they can line their pockets. Yeah. It's kind of a bit like the previous notes almost kind of implied that people being sick is like a good way to make money for the physicians as well, right? Keeping people sick means that they're dependent on a supply of drugs or whatever, and then you can make quite a lot of money and people go into debt. And you know, actually, sometimes in Japan in the past, or like, I think actually a lot of places that do arranged marriage, it can often, when families arrange a marriage, there can sometimes be quite a lot of financial reasons for it. Kind of marrying into wealth can be quite an attractive proposition for one family. Especially if it's like the man comes from like a prestigious family and the girl comes from like a fairly well-to-do family that has like some business means perhaps. So it's like the wealthy family can, I don't know actually, but I was like maybe the wealthy family can like line the coffers. Or not, sorry, the prestigious family can line the coffers, and the not prestigious but rich family can get some prestige. Maybe. But that's kind of like a guess or whatever, but yeah, it could be quite like a financial thing, so again, I'm kind of pontificating, but some of the notes previously implied people being in debt and things like that, so I wonder if like it's going to be an arranged marriage to try and help pay off her father's debt for Hinako. And that's either what's happening, or what will happen to Hinako, or what's already happened to the sister, maybe? Maybe the sister got into like an arranged marriage? Mysterious sister who may or may not exist. May not exister, the sister? I don't think I don't think I did that bit right. Or am I supposed to look back in here? Oh, maybe I was. This area is quite confusing. Definitely got a kind of looping thing going on. A lot of the game's got a loop going on. Strict Mother's Letter. Good morning, my handsome boy. Your real last name is Tsuneki. It is told that those of the Tsuneki lineage are destined to bring good fortune when the world is in disorder. In fact, that is how your father earned succession to the Tsuneki lineage, and you, who have inherited your father's noble blood, are sure to be next in line. To make your name, I took one character from your father's name, and one character from mine. That way, when anyone from the Tsuneki family hears your name, they will immediately know you are our child. Yeah, a Japanese friend of mine, her father was called Tsuneyuki. And I was like, that's such a... Like, I knew some more, like, kind of common Japanese names by that point in my Japanese studies, but I had never heard of somebody who... I never heard of a man called Tsuneyuki, and I was like, wow, that's such a cool name. It's a great name, I love that. I wonder if it's maybe a little old-fashioned, because her father was quite old, but... That might be where the... Well, actually, I don't know what the kid's like whole name would be, but... Just like a name that stood out to me. There's some wild Japanese names out there that like made stories because of the way that you can use kanji and like pronunciations to have like you can have like certain characters in a name, but like the pronunciation might not be what people expect. Oh god, not these things again. Maybe I should go sicko mode? How do I do that again? Oh shit, completely forgotten. I thought it was like the left trigger and then right trigger. Because it looks like I've almost got it charged, or I do have it charged. Oh, damn, I completely forgot how you do that. Oh yes, not bad. Some my stamina back, please. If I had to fight two of these guys in the real world, it would be awful, but fighting two of these guys in this world is like, it's a little scary, but I have less fear now that I'm like Fox mode. Oh yeah, one of them's already down. Not quite as scared of you guys as I used to be. Shine! Maybe I should look up the notes again. How do you do the thingy with the stuff? Yes, very, very explanatory, Sinow. How do you turn into Fox God? How do you go sicko mode again? Oh, I think it's like L3 and R3 or something, isn't it? You like click the sticks in. Click the sticks, stick the clicks. I'll try that next time it looks like I'm about to get into a big old brawl. Did I miss something I was supposed to pick up there? At the risk of sounding rather obvious, I feel like I'm going around in circles. Memories of getting lost. Origami. Some kids indirectly bully others by writing gossip about the people they hated and making sure to put it in a place they would see it. Oh yeah, the origami of grievances. You fold it into an origami fox and then throw it somewhere that no one else will find it. To get rid of your grievances like magic. I'm just skimming this quickly. I remember Rinko folding up origami all the time. I don't know what was on them, but I saw her writing down things during class and folding paper into foxes on multiple occasions. She keeps writing her complaints on pieces of paper, but instead of burning them, she just decides to throw them in the void and let them accumulate. I think that maybe one day all of these grievances will pile up and suffocate her. Yeah, that's very on brand for Rinko. Who... I can't help but kind of love her. I kind of love her, hate her energy. At first she annoyed me because I was like, oh, don't be stupid, I'm obviously not a love rival. But now I'm like, you know what? I kind of sympathize with her because she feels like she's done everything right by femininity and she's got nothing for it. Here we go. I've worked it out. I didn't really transform. Oh my god, I accidentally clicked the buttons in again and now I have stopped being transformed. That's so lame. How many times do you swing? About 4, it looks like. I will spank your booty. I'll give the booties a little spanks. Also, it sounds like there's some other enemies coming in. Yep. Right on cue. Oh, you got a big swing. farm you guys for counterattacks, maybe? Oh wait, they're doing that other attack, aren't they? Oh, there's like a weird like string coming out of the big guy towards them there. Did you see that? Okay, I need something a little bit more than Nadare. Something a little bit more heat, please. There we go. Okay, this is going to be the 4 swing, isn't it? 2, 3, and then slow down. There. I wish the camera was ever so slightly more zoomed out from Hinako sometimes, because it does... I sometimes feel like I'm playing a fucking N64 game up in here, with how like zoomed in it all gets. But maybe they kind of wanted that to be part of like the difficulty of it. It makes the fights a little scrappy and a little bit hard to keep track of everything that's going on around you. Part of the intended difficulty, but sometimes I feel like I'm like just zoomed into something's ass like just a lot. Or like the camera ends up like clipping in a like weird way. But again, they probably want it so it's like a little bit hard to keep an eye on your periphery. It's a little bit more scary in that regard. Oh, Higashi. Oh yeah, I saw one of these walls earlier as well, a second ago. Oh, it was this one. Please melt. Thank you. Oh, hi. I mean, we could hear you clattering around from the other side of the wall there, so calm yourself. Oh, I'm siphoning. I was like, she's kind of hesitating to pick this up. She's reaching out, but she's got a bigger fox arm now, so she's like, I can't pick it up. TY. White Sparrow. Innocent and afraid. Okay, 2 down. Kinda wish I had this fox arm for the whole game now. It's quite nice, actually. It's probably supposed to represent something absolutely horrid for Hinako, but... The blackbird wishes to take the white bird wishes to resist. The fox brings along, his followers in triumph. He notices not the 2 birds in conflict. Is that kind of like a puzzle hint, but also like a kind of metaphor for the 2 sides of Hinako? Or something, perhaps. I've been talking about like kind of other characters or the sister a lot in particular as being represented by things in this, but it might be more, as the story's gone on more, it's kind of like Hinako being conflicted. Letter with a pressed flower. There used to be nothing I hated more in the world than being forced to live as a proper girl. But when I think of you, I start to wonder if maybe, just maybe, there was a reason I was born a girl. I hope these feelings will reach you like dandelion seeds carried in the wind. You make me want to be all cutesy. You made me want to be the wifey type. Whoever wrote that. Mandate of the clan. A living sacrifice shall be offered every 8 years, for nothing else can quell the wrath which dwells in the waters deep. She shall be a maiden, fair and pure of heart, and the blood which flows through her veins shall be that which has been blessed by the stars and is beloved by fate. Let it be known that only the most suitable sacrifice shall quench the being's vicious thirst. The duty of finding such a sacrifice shall fall upon the head of the house. Well, I don't think that's working out. Is this the sacrifice? Is there anything in the note that says that you have to make the sacrifice as jam accidenty as possible? Because this place is an absolute dump. What is happening here? What is all the ruckus going on? This room is a state. Young man, young lady, etc. Going full like parent mode here. Get this room cleaned up this instant mode. It's filthy in here. Living like animals, etc. Oh, was that like a super attack? I didn't even try. I wasn't even trying. I'm just that good. I feel like Shu's family in particular is going to have a part to play if there is some sort of like kind of medicinal debt subplot for sure. And like I said previously, Ryukishi, a lot of his works have like a kind of people with drugs, like there's like a lot of like pharmaceutical plot points in his previous works. Certain types of like drugs or medicine or medicinal side effects are very common from what I've witnessed of his writing so far. So I'm kind of banking on that. I'm already a bit like, we're doing this again, aren't we? Oh, there's another loop here. Nice. Oh, I think, yeah, nice. I don't even think I got the little like rainbow thing. I just kind of knew that was the moment where you get to do the counterattack now. He's learned. So I'm guessing the looping here is supposed to be like making a statement, but I am very wary of games that kind of loop a bit too much. You can sort of tell that like this game, although it had like a fair budget, it wasn't quite as like big a project overall maybe as like Silent Hill 2 remake was. And I do wish that like the kind of environments and the kind of gameplay associated with the environments had like a little bit more of that sophistication to them. It's more of like I wish Konami kind of let the budget for this be bigger, or like let the kind of level planning for this game be a bit bigger. Just because Silent Hill 2 did such a good job of like tying in every location. Whereas in this, there's a lot of like, you go into the dream world sequence and then like the dream world has a lot of rooms that loop kind of thing. And I know that's like a clever way of using resources and stuff in video games, etc. But for such a like big launch as this, it would be nice if I just kind of can feel that there's like a slight limitation there compared to the previous game in the franchise. So excuse me, madam. Excuse me, thank you. Spoiled by Silent Hill 2 remake I was. Spoiled! But again, it's not Bloober Team that developed this. A lot of it was by a company called Neobards that did Resident Evil Resistance. But Neobards is kind of a peculiar game company from what I can understand, because it's like they are a game company that tends to work in tandem with other game companies to do projects with them. Or like kind of shoulder some of the developmental work. So like Resident Evil Resistance was a lot of them getting certain assets from Capcom and told to do certain things, and then they made a multiplayer game out of the Resident Evil 2 and 3 assets, which was sold alongside Resident Evil 3 remake. But that was very much like they were at kind of Capcom's behest, because I think Capcom was operating off of this idea of like, in order to sell a single player game, you need to tack on a multiplayer aspect to it. Which is this kind of outdated thinking that was fucking stupid, honestly. I'm glad that a lot of AAA companies have kind of realized that was a load of bullshit, frankly. And I liked Resident Evil Resistance, but I think tacking on like a kind of half-hearted multiplayer game is not necessary. Some of the words here are saying like Oka-san, Oto-sama, so like mother and father. Something about like progressing maybe, or moving forward. I think, does he like Urayamashi like being jealous? Something about returning. Talking about oneself. Tomodachi ni, like two friends. Dame, I think I saw there, which means like it's useless, it's helpless. Oh, here comes many pregnancies beast or whatever this is. How do I get into your battle arena? Excuse me, here we go. Hi, I would like to fight you, please. You would like to fight me apparently, so if you just tell me where the door is, we can get on with that. Oh! Nice dodge. If I do say so myself. Oh, could you? Could you? Or couldn't you? Stop that. Will ya? Oh, maybe I should go sicko mode actually. I'm grateful for this arm I've been given. This is borderline going like, Itadakimasu! Oh, get clawed. Just going sicko mode. Rawr. 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 Oh, she dead already? Get rid of your like little lackeys while I'm at it. Yes, yes. Okay, that's enough of that. Chill out. Whatever is like happened here is very bad news.
Junko-san.
Oh! 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 Junko! She also mentioned, Hinako mentioned the banquet, which might also be like a kind of arranged marriage thing. So I forgot to say something about that and I just remembered now. She mentioned like, is the banquet already over? Did you kill it? What is it? The other side of Hinako, perhaps? She looks completely dead, like a dead body, so... Okay. Love you too. Mwah. I'm wondering now if there's still like something to her being her sister or something. That Hinako is already dead, because she looks like she's dead. I mean, you basically were listening in, weren't you? Don't act like you weren't. You were nosy, I can tell. It didn't take you that long to come back into the room and be like, did you have a good chat? You gave us like 2 seconds. Box mask. She sounds kind of... Yeah, she sounds a bit... like out of it as well. Like I'm in Hinako as the game has kind of gone on in this world anyway. She's gone from being like, what's happening, to sounding very like she's on rails. Like a train on rails. Everything's a bit foggy. Lost in the fog, if you will. Time to chuck everything in the big money trash compactor. As always. Don't have enough to gamble. Alas. Just like in real life. Don't have enough money to gamble. Alright, I think it's time to solve this thing. Does it still have the same hint as well? Yes. Blackbird wishes to take the white bird, but the white bird wishes to resist. And the fox brings along his followers in triumph. So presumably... the important one is here. In the palanquin, I think is the word for that. Being carried in the palanquin. And now I need to try and look for 2 people that maybe have some almost They look like they're in accord with each other. I've noticed that only one of the foxes... Oh no, two of the foxes are facing to the right. And everybody else is facing to the left. And these two kind of look like they've got beef. Is it really that straightforward? No. Of course, nothing's ever that straightforward. Especially with this difficulty, I would presume something's a bit more complex. Oh, hang on. Oops. I think the fox mask crest is supposed to be there. Okay, not quite. Sorry. I put it in the lantern beside the palanquin. That must be the fox mask one. Or the fox even is inside the palanquin bringing along the followers. Surely. The other two, though. Blackbird wishes to take the white bird, but the white bird wishes to resist. The fox brings along his followers in triumph. He notices not the two birds in conflict. In triumph. Are you feeling triumphant? Unless... I wonder if the white bird... If there is something to the whole, like... facing the opposite direction thing that I was thinking about. There's only 3 of them at least, but... No, I think... There's going to be some sort of connection between whichever slot is the blackbird and whichever slot is the white bird. This one seems to be kind of like guiding them the most. The blackbird wishes to... What does it exactly say? Just take the white bird. Okay, so I was kind of thinking that maybe this person is like representing like... take along. I mean, it could be that that one up at the top is the bring along the followers in triumph and not notice the two birds in conflict, but I feel like this person's still not like the king. This is the king, baby. Surely. Maybe I got it the wrong way around. Maybe the white sparrow is this one who is resisting. And the black sparrow over here was the one to the southeast of it kind of thing. This one. No. Let me read, what's this other? Press 3. Oh, I basically just let the line of foxes guide your soul. I can still go into these... Oh no, I can't go into these rooms. Okay. I was gonna say, there isn't like an extra hint in another room that I should look at first, is there? No. Notices not the two birds in conflict. Again, the person in the palanquin that's like really facing away would maybe suggest to me being ignorant, so to speak, of the goings on of what's happening between them. Okay. Let me try a few solutions and I'll maybe skip forward to when I get it right here, so that it's not just me looking at the screen and going, and then getting it wrong repeatedly for you all. Oh, wait a minute. What if I was on the right track before, but it's like more literal? The fox brings along his followers in triumph. I thought that the person in the palanquin would be the, like, hierarchically the one that had followers, but maybe they mean more literally just the person at the front is bringing along the followers, so to speak. Let me try that. Now that I've kind of reasoned that out in my head, that might actually be the answer. I have a funny feeling. So the fox would be them, and then these two still look like they're fighting. And I think this would be the black bird, black sparrow crest, because it's like bringing something along, and then this is the one that looks more like it's resisting. Or maybe the other way around. Oh, I thought I had this. I hope I've just gotten this bit mixed up. So this would be the white bird, as in like don't take the thing, and this is the black bird that's like give me the thing. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so it was just legitimately the person at the front. I thought it was more like a kind of hierarchical, like the person in the palanquin would have the power. Maybe I'm like wrong on that historically, but surely the person being carried along is the one that's the most prestigious, but they meant more like the guy at the front. the person who is walking at the front, who's like, let's go this way. I guess. They have followers, in a very literal sense of the word. People who are following. Oh. I'm sorry, it's quite hard to open this delicate box with my massive clawed fox hand now.
Sa, kimi mo.
Sa. Again. Marriage? Kind of like an arranged marriage between these two. But if it is an arranged marriage between these two, is he supposed to... Is he like an actual person, or does he represent like a concept? Because he's in this other world, right? Like he represents, I don't know, the town's traditions, because it's the kind of fox god, right? But it seems nice. So it's like, yeah, if you just kind of go along with things, maybe if you don't struggle to assert your individuality, Hinako, and you just kind of go along with this marriage, then actually things will be alright, and you can just be a little woman and just have a nice little woman life. And you don't think anymore. Because this is what women do in 1960s Japan. And she has to kill off the other Hinako in order to decide to just do that. But that's why she's kind of like a... She's become rather docile in her effect, do you know what I mean? She's lost her personality. It's very pretty, this game. Like I said, the level design has been kind of a little bit skimped on in some places. Or is it quite as big as other Silent Hill in some places, but graphically it's gorgeous. You took everything from me. Oh yeah, the big monster, yeah. Stabbing. Zenbu, omae tachi no sei da. Oh, a crowbar. And those kitchen knives on the way out, I'm afraid. God, this thing looks like it's going to do some serious damage. She holds it almost like kind of casually. Okay, no. There is a little thing here. What is that? Ooh, a tidbit. I mean, the village is basically like gone at this point, right? You can hardly see the path anymore. It's just all whatever this is. Oh, another kitchen knife. I'll get rid of this hatchet, just because the kitchen knife, although it runs out of durability quite quickly, it does do some good stabs. We do like the good stabs. Oh, hello. What is her taisetsu na mono? Just everything. Her friends? The family? Maybe not the dad. Let's be real. What about the eyeball? Oh god, she's like really going for it. She's gone sicko mode. Do I have to fight all of these like little jabronis in the way? Can I just like get past you? Again, I've kind of got places to be. I don't need to fight every lackey, do I? I'm rather busy, quite frankly. Oh, I might regret if I send away too many items now, because it does feel like I'm kind of— oh god! Right on cue. There might be like a big boss or something coming up. This might be it. I kind of wish— I don't need to kill this thing probably, but I want revenge. Okay, that was a terrible idea. Oh, I'm awful. What have I done? You know what? I'm gonna cheese it. Or maybe not. There's nowhere to go. Alright, combat it is. Oh my— she's like— I'm not gonna just kill you, I'm gonna make you suffer. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm wearing a t-shirt that says, growing strong and healthy, Minmo, which is from Silent Hill 3. I forgot to point that out earlier. Represent, I got this for my birthday. Thanks to some of you watching perhaps out there. Minmo is a reference to a really bizarre advert on the subway quite near the beginning, I believe, of Silent Hill 3. That you could tell it's one of the developers' cats. And it doesn't even remotely look like a real advert, but there's something quite charming about it for that reason. Oh, excuse me, I'm just here for the goodies. I don't want to fight. Excuse me. Excuse me. Baseball bat. We already have one, don't we? I'll just leave that on the ground. Yeah, you tell him. Tell him, Hinako. Do I want the sickle? No, I think knife sickle. It definitely feels like this segment, unless I'm like missing something and I do have to actually like, oh, kill everything. It feels like this segment is preparing me for a big fight, you know? I'm suddenly getting a lot of goodies and a lot of weapons and all that. Do I have— oh my god. One of those big pregnancy demons, but also infected, so she's like slightly stronger perhaps? Probably gonna want to dodge. Alright. I don't know if I can get past this area without taking her down, so that's the fight we need to do, then the fight it is. Damn, I wish I had another one of those hatchets though, because the hatchets are good for these. If I recall. Ow. Come out. Nice. Oh, do I really have to fight her here? Hang on. It may be like, yeah, you have to fight her to kind of get to the next area. It's just weird that it hasn't really been like that so far, and now suddenly it's like, yeah, you gotta fight to progress. Did I check this area? Oh, there's a steel pipe. Ooh, actually, I do quite like the steel pipes. What can I say? Silent Hill classic, steel pipe, right? The OG. Or at least for Silent Hill 2. I can't remember if in Silent Hill you use a steel pipe a lot as well. I know for Silent Hill 2 it's like there's something quite almost like a characteristic. But James swinging that steel pipe around very early in the game. Oh, I don't want to use that actually. Jesus. You're so rude and I hate you. I hate your bones. I want you to die if you have any bones. I hate them. And if you don't have bones but you have something analogous to it, I hate that. You're so rude. Oh, nice. Okay, excuse me. All of you. Now, I'm presuming... Is she talking to the monsters? Or is there more than just the monsters going on here? This game really is like an overthinker's delight. Because everything is like, is it like a metaphor basically, the game? That's Silent Hill, isn't it? That's why people like Silent Hill. Whereas just with Resident Evil, people like it when it's kind of dumb and scary. But with this game, it's more... With Silent Hill as a franchise, that's the fun. Okay, so you did have to kill her to progress, okay. Duly noted. Leave my town alone. Put your hands up for Detroit. I love this city. This is Hinako's town, apparently. I quite like this weapon. Oh, I've only got 2 toolkits though. Iron baseball bat. You can't. You can't. Oh, I've got too much. Oh my god, there's always too much doodads in this game. I'll come back for it if I need it. You know what? It's fine. It does feel like the game is making sure that I'm not going to run out of resources unless I really act like an idiot anyway. These first aid kits take up so much space. Oh, crowbar. Okay. I'm gonna just kill this thing because I can, I guess. Oh, I forgot these things are really annoying to fight. Oh, and that thing is also annoying to fight behind it. You know what? This. No, that's something else. No, 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 I don't want to use that either. But I do want this. There's so many thingies everywhere! Ah, I'm surrounded by thingies. You know what, this will do. Everybody chill. Stop making unpassable ground, please. It's very annoying. Stop being completely still as if you're not like a demon. I know what you're up to. Oh, an antique comb. I don't want to say no to this. I need to do a quick use slot for the Higashi and just eat it, perhaps. Just chomp on that thing so I don't just completely waste it. Why not? Come on. Oh, she completely whiffed there. I'll take that antique comb. Name Shimizu Hinako. Last seen wearing details of disappearance. Left home met with wearing a... Okay, implication that she's run away. It won't end like this. No crowbar. Another one of these things that I'm presuming I have to kill every time now. Time for the big bonks. Time for everything to get some Hinako justice. Or not. JK. That was just a joke, lol. Oh my god, Hinako, could you not like slightly swing forward when you see the thing jump backwards? Come on now. Work with me here a little, will ya? The way she like cries when she gives birth, I'm like, I wonder if that's supposed to be representing a kind of sadness. This creature. Oh! Oh! Oh, you thought? Bitch, you thought? Apparently we're both just terrible, actually, so you got lucky. Random creature. Could you just... Come back later, I'm busy. I'm busy fighting the baby demon. You're so... Okay. One down. I have no mouth and I must birth. Actually, she has a mouth. I think that's like the one thing she does have, I guess. It's kind of hard to tell with this creature. This horrible, beautiful, horrible creature. Not yet. After all of this, you want me to also fight you, lady? You've missed the show. Get out. Yeah, bye. Nobody cares about you now. The big thing's gone. Oh, a toolkit. Can't say no to that. Whoa, whoa. This looks rather poignant. So that also has a fox arm. So Oinari-sama? Oinari-sama? Hello? Konnichiwa?
お父さんをお母さんをお前を許さない絶対に
Unfortunately, she's got the guts, but maybe not the strongest plan I've ever seen. I'm gonna swing at it with a pipe. I had a feeling.
これがどれだけ失礼なことかあなたにも十分分かっているはず殺しなさい
But I thought Big Sis was Hinako's hero. I thought you'd get it.
殺しなさい
Us birds gotta stick together. Oh, it's hesitating for some reason.
どうしてお姉ちゃん
それがあなたのためです死になさい
No, die. Please die. Please tell me that's not just the end of it. Please tell me there's a little bit more and that's not just credit roll the moment. Oh, we're back here again. The I'm going to marry Hinako. Yeah, that's also, yeah, actually as well, like, Hinako is very different in these segments to the Hinako in the quote-unquote real world. It's kind of hard to tell if it's the real world, but that also might be like, this is a different Hinako when the two of them kind of met each other in that one sequence. She truly has a vision.
孫にも一緒か
かように貧弱な嫁ごとは
ようこ
Yeah,
そどうか心安らかな日々を
it's her kind of giving up all of her kind of free will to just be the good wife. Imagine saying feeble. Imagine calling somebody's bride feeble. Imagine just saying that on somebody's wedding day to them, or around them, or near them. Feeble bride. Fuck off. Get out my wedding. You're shite. Whoever you are, get out. Never invited back. There's no banquet for you out there. Feeble bride. How dare you? You gonna stick up for me, husband? That guy called me feeble. Thanks. TY. I don't 100% know everything about wedding ceremonies in Japan because I've never been married in Japan. And I think I mentioned before, the only wedding that I went to in Japan, it was kind of like after the fact. It was like more the kind of reception type stuff rather than the actual ceremony itself, I believe. Very beautiful and pretty, but like some of the aspects of what you might do in like a very traditional wedding ceremony would be lost on me. She's suddenly got like the stage light on her. Now dance. So I suppose that I thought the dolls that were like saying don't do it. Oh, this is horrible. Tryptophobia moment. Very effective horror. What a horrible thing to think about. I thought the dolls might be like the elder sister saying don't do it. Remember who you are, but maybe like the doll is just like the other Hinako or something, reminding her of her personality, saying don't just become another part of the village, I guess. The Flower Bride. Oh shit. Oh shit. So she's either becoming this thing or like the new incarnation of this thing. Fuck. Yeah, that's why it had the one arm as well. Oh, that makes sense.
それではお別れを。あなたが幸せをつかんでくれることを願っています。
You know, if you got rid of like the pulsating flesh, I know this is supposed to be the village is completely fucked, but it's quite pretty. If we kind of tone down the flesh and maybe like clear up the flowers so it's not absolutely everywhere, it's gonna be a terrible makeover. These are spider lilies, I believe, which are supposed to be associated with death in Japanese culture. I'm sure loads of you know that by now. They're very pretty though. Oh, hello. There's still a bit more. Return to the Shimizu residence. Oh, I'm returning to my family home. I agree, the machi is chou kirei. It's very beautiful, I agree. Machi meaning town. Don't go that way. Yeah, the doll. Who is the doll supposed to be? Because I don't think it's supposed to be the older sister anymore. Because the older sister seems to be the one that's like, yeah, get on with it, grow up. Or something along those lines. You know, I suppose I've kind of operated like on how... I've kind of operated on the basis that everything is like kind of a metaphor in this game, but I suppose as well... Silent Hill... has like the whole cult plot line that's supposed to be like actually a thing that's going on in Silent Hill, so... There was a part of me that was like, is the town becoming like this because everybody's addicted to drugs or there's some sort of like ecological disaster, but this is how it's being interpreted? But maybe this is supposed to be like a curse. Or, I don't know, the wrath of the fox god. But then, Hinako's been doing what you've been saying about this Hinako. So, I don't know. Omamori spider. Ooh, this is very cool looking. This is one of my favorite ones, I think. I like how the legs have like the slightly different texture to them. Greatly decreases weapon durability consumption from performing light attacks. Letter from the hospital. Department of Psychiatry. Mr. Immerse's Igarashi test results. We've compiled the test results for Igarashi Sakuko below. So she was the one that wanted to become like the shrine, head of the shrine. Results, no abnormalities found. Observation shows characteristics of mild autism. All other test results were within normal range. Notes, it's not unusual for pubescent children to claim they can see and hear things that are not real. As they mature, these issues tend to resolve themselves on their own, so I believe there's no need for concern. Regarding her fear of the dark, her response is proper and natural. Continuing to scold her may only worsen her condition. Please do not trouble yourself over Sakuko. Simply raise her with love and affection and let her mature at her own pace. Oh, that's kind of sweet. So maybe that's like Sakuko's kind of hyperfixation, I guess you could say, with like the otherworldly presences and her wanting to become like a shrine maiden is related to that, because there was like a previous note that said that she became kind of a bit obsessive over it, and I guess it was like other people didn't quite understand why she was suddenly like so into it, but for her it's like extremely important. And if she's got a kind of, she shows signs of autism as well, it's like that might be why it's quite all-encompassing for her. You won't be able to see your father or mother anymore. If she gets... I'm guessing it's like if she kind of gets married to another family, then she's no longer a Shimizu, if she's a woman. It's kind of implied that she'll like no longer be part of like the kind of Shimizu affairs, because she formally becomes part of, I don't know, whoever Foxman's family is supposed to be. Because I think arranged marriages, especially in the past for Japan, it was a lot more like you kind of leave your old life behind and you're kind of subsumed into a different kind of like, I don't know, family register, I guess.
私は家に帰る
It's a bit more kind of a dramatic change, and it's less like a kind of modern marriage where you're like, yeah, you know the in-laws, you might still be pals with them or whatever. It was a bit more like you were leaving this family and becoming part of that family. Of course, as you can imagine, in 1960s Japan, there wasn't a lot of women that were like, I prefer to keep my own surname, thank you. That's not really a thing. I'd like to just remain as a Shimizu.
私を祝福してる 両親にも会いに行こう
I'm guessing these aren't the parents, because what is happening here? What are these two up to? This ragtag duo of enemies just hanging out. Gang gang. 1, 2, 3. Are you done having your little tantrum? Cut that out. I like these big Chongai enemies though. I'm very fond of them now. Right, come here. I will claw at the butt as many times as I have to. Lots of cool enemy designs in this game though, for sure. There are a lot of things about this game that I do like. And the visual design of it is gorgeous. Mwah. Big kiss. Big kiss for the horrible abominations. Very, very cool. Another antique comb? There should be... I'm hoping that one shrine is still there that I can like save at before... I don't know if it's like a final boss fight or what. But I want to keep these combs. These are good money. Even if the first playthrough is about to end, which I think it is. I'm not giving away those combs. I'm not leaving them behind. Good combs. Quality combs. No, whatever. Look at me, I'm like half fox now. I haven't got time to be eating all this yokan. I really hope that enemy in the background will just patiently not kill me while I do all this. That would be really cool of you. Okay. Kudzuti. I hope I don't regret giving that away. If the final boss is like unnaturally hard for some reason, I could increase the limits of myself somehow. Sanity, stamina, or health. Well, I haven't really upgraded my sanity yet. But then again, I feel like sanity actually is okay now for me. Some extra health might not be terrible. Oh, I'm very healthy. Just gives me a little bit more leeway, you know? I feel like the sanity thing is no longer a big a problem for me on this difficulty. On the harder difficulty, it's like, ugh. If you hold down the sanity thing for too long and you don't get the counterattack, you just are like suffering. You don't really have to worry about it so much in this difficulty. It's quite different. You won't be able to stay as you are now. Yeah. Maybe it's also supposed to represent, like, kind of like her as a kid. Where it's like, becoming like a good wife is part of like growing up as and becoming a woman in Japanese society. You're not allowed to have your like childhood shenanigans with Shu anymore. The Aibo thing. You now have to become this kind of docile wife. You have to have babies, and you have to be the one that cooks. You have to get into a relationship like Hinako's mother with Hinako's father. Just hope that you don't have one of the bastards as a husband, kind of thing. So maybe there's like also a kind of... Because at the beginning of the game she picks up the doll and it's meant to represent her as like a kid. It's also like, don't lose sight of the kind of what you wanted as a child. Because of this idea of like becoming a adult woman. Completing the journey of being a teenager. I love it, by the way, there's like a kind of, for these combat segments, there's a kind of filter and everything that's like, it's a bit like what the filters look like for people who have color blindness for me. It's like one of the types of color blindness has a tendency to make things look like this in games, I think. It's quite pretty. Everything's more green and red. And bluey, green and red. Goodbye.
もうすぐ我が家
It's definitely not a very happy ending I'm going towards, huh? But I don't know if the first ending can change depending on how I've played the game, but it's definitely not like a particularly happy clappy one, is it? Or it's just the first ending's always like this. It might... From what I've heard of other people talking about the different endings, I think I kind of got the implication that the first one is always just like this. Sorry, Dad, I know I think you're just standing there, but I wanted to check if there's like an extra prize over here. No, okay. I'm ready to go home now. Father and Mother. She's giving Mother. Also, she was standing behind him at first. Of course. With her weird fake smile.
みんな子や綺麗だよほらお父さん
She's a fox demon now. Look at her.
ここはもうお前の家ではない。一人で帰ってきても
Oh, that was a thing that they sometimes would say, actually, to people who were in like arranged marriages, I think, in the past in Japan. Like, this isn't your home anymore. It's like a deterrent, almost, or it's like you have to kind of give up the familial home and go to your husband's home. And of course, yeah, now I'm that being and the other Hinako screams. Happy ending. No. Not that I needed any more, you know, evidence that it was an arranged marriage, but I just remembered that that's actually like a phrase, I think, in Japan for people saying this isn't your home anymore, is something they would say when somebody got married off into a different lineage. Help Shimizu Hinako, please. Wait, what the fuck? My computer hates this for some reason, by the way. That's not like a cinematic lowering of FPS. I think my computer's just screaming quietly. Oh, what is this? Oh, I guess that maybe this is like a final boss fight then. Against whomst, though? I kind of thought that was it. Oh my god, my game... I really hope this lag goes away when it like loads what it wants to load. But oh well. Just imagine this is like a really old school Let's Play with like the hyper... unregistered Hyper Bandicam 2 or whatever in the top left corner, or like a Fraps logo or something. When I first started doing YouTube, people still occasionally used Fraps, but Fraps was like not good at capturing video without taking like the entirety of your computer up. It worked because at the time there wasn't a lot of other choices and they weren't as sophisticated if there was other choices, but it was pretty rough back then sometimes. And it wasn't that long ago, but it's a lifetime ago, it feels like now technologically, but it wasn't that long ago. People still talking about Fraps in like 2015, you know? Or something like that. It's getting quite scary how occasionally I'll see something from early 2010s and it's starting to look a little alien now. Or a little antiquated in a certain manner. And I'm like, okay, the 2000s being antiquated I've kind of gotten a little bit more used to, but the 2010s already beginning to look antiquated is getting frightening. More bandages? More?
Oh,
I like the framing of the fox looking down at this. You'll help destroy it all. Interesting. Let's replace this. Destroy all. Yeah, so if this is the other Hinako, what is she gonna do? Because it's like the two Hinako have swapped places. Have you noticed that? So now this Hinako is in the other world, and the other world Hinako is in the quote-unquote real world. Or maybe this is the real world. Da-da! It's kind of hard to tell. I like her attitude as things have gone on. I like how much she's just like, oh, is this how it's gonna be? I'm gonna kill all you. Fuck this. This is bullshit. Fuck everyone. Quite right. The game was rigged from the start, Hinako, and you should be angry. This is bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. The role of young women in 1960s Japan? That's bullshit. Quite right. You tell him. Ooh. Sorry, Chocoreto. That toolkit might be thebomb.com. Oh my god, my computer hates this. Maybe I should bump the graphics down? Oh, hang on. I'll go in this door and hope it goes away, and if not, I'll have to bump it down. Because this might be like a different scene loading up, so... Just if you could like unload everything that I was doing back there for me, please. So that the frame rate can recover. That would be swell. Oh, yeah. Getting better, getting better. Sweet. There was probably like some sort of reflection in the water or something that my computer was just not happy about. I'll keep doing this. Yeah, there's definitely like a sense of looping that the game keeps talking about, but I'm not sure. Okay. Move, budge, get out of the way. Move, bitch, get out the way. But in Japanese, okay. This thing is just rubbish for some reason. It wasn't really trying at all to kill me. It was just like hopping around and it was like, yeah, that's it. That's all I've got. Feel free to follow in that thing's footsteps if you fancy other enemies. Oh, I don't think you or I knew if we wanted to attack there, quite frankly. I will say, yeah, I will repeat that I do think that one of the developers said that they need to put combat in games like this to keep people's attention for a horror game, and I do disagree, and I think there's a little bit too much combat in this game. I can imagine some people were at this point. In fact, I think Gab actually told me as much, that she was a bit like, oh, I just kind of want to get to the end now. I don't want to keep fighting random things at this point, and I also agree. It's not like the game should have no combat or anything, but
もう後戻りはできない。
I don't really feel like I need to be like an iPad baby. And just like, they have to just throw things at me, otherwise I might, I don't know, start to have a coherent thought for 2 seconds, you know? I don't like that. I guess knowing that one of the developers had said that before this game came out has probably made me slightly more critical of it already, because I knew that there was like a certain mentality going into it that I already disagreed with. But having played this, I will say that, yeah, I can kind of feel that it does have a bit of a tendency to just sort of chuck enemies at you from time to time. I have so much healing. You know what bandages? I have so much of you. And I don't want to chuck away these first aid kits. But you can't enshrine them, and I've got a kabillion now. But hey, at least at the last boss fight, which I'm presuming is about to happen, I can just munch them. No, I just got rid of you! Okay, also, having to do this inventory Tetris with these things is like a little dumb, I'm not gonna lie. The amount of times you're just constantly having to like ferry things into the shrine to get rid of them to pick up more things. I know there's like a couple of inventory upgrades, but ugh. Bit of a pain. Right. Screw this, I've had enough. Let's save and then get on with it. Can't play the gacha anymore. Can't afford jack shit. I'll keep the default costume on for now as well, because as tempting as it is to look like a big bunny rabbit for the final fight, it might slightly detract from the resonance of what's happening. So we're back here again. Isn't this the same bridge that we fought Sakuko on? In fact, wasn't this my previous handiwork right there? Can't tell, can't remember. Hello? Hello, I'm here for like a fight for one's ego and self or whatever. Anyone?
行こう。清水ひな子。
Bandage. Kitchen knife. I suppose this crowbar's on the way out. Although I'm not like a huge fan of the kitchen knife, but it is quite strange that they're offering me that now. Again, there's probably just a couple of fail-safe type things so that if you're playing on like a harder difficulty and you don't have a lot of weapons left. Axe. Oh, but the steel pipe. I did say that was the classic before, and the crowbar is quite useful. I don't love the knife. Axe, a bit more love for that. There are so much. Another first aid kit? You have to be joking. I can just chuck, like, I can't get rid of the bandages. Yeah, why can't you get rid of these? They should be, like, worth a lot, but you can still get rid of them. That's why I have, like, inventory Tetris issues all the time. What ifs? What ifs? Fine. I don't even think I've got all of my things, like, on quick save slots. Or quick use slots, do I? No, I've got... Oh, no, I think so. Okay. And the Damine... Oh, it was the Damine I didn't have on a slot. Or I must have taken it off earlier. Okay, there we go. Right. What Omamori are we going in with? Because I haven't really looked at these for a while. I don't know if there's going to be other enemies to fight in this final boss fight to recover health. So greatly increases damage when using weapons with high durability. Maybe that might be good. And then sanity consumption during focus. And just increased max stamina, because running out of stamina is always the worst. So I'll keep that one. Alright. Corridors, proceed, I shall. Are we ready for me to finally do my first playthrough of Silent Hill F? Please tell me this is like the final boss fight anyway. I kinda wanna see it now. This isn't like another segment. I'm sure those strings in the background are a sign that something great and fun and cool is about to happen. Oh my god, this marriage corridor again. What is this? Fail frame made in a Blackwater? Or whatever the one was for the Wii U that just reuses the assets all the time? Sick of getting married already. When's the honeymoon? Villagers of the village, who are all little foxes. Peanut gallery.
まさかまだ生き残っていようとは。
That's right, bitch. I thought you were one of the good ones.
お姉ちゃんは所詮は向こう側の人間。私の気持ちなんてわからない。
落ち着いて。あなたがどうしてここにいるかわかる？
You were supposed to be the only person in the world that would kind of know what I was going through. Wait, what?
怖いや。辛い。気持ち悪い。帰りたい。
Oh, what is this?
それは何の？あなたいつから飲んでるの？そんなに飲んで大丈夫なの？
Are those like the red capsules I've been chomping on the whole game?
これを飲むと落ち着くから。もうやめ。
Wait, what? Oh, don't tell. Don't tell me the red capsules are like some sort of evil. And that's why I've got this ending, is because I've been taking them. Oh, it's like in Silent Hill 2, where if you like run around with low health a lot, like James gets depressed. And it changes the way it ends. Is it because I've like eaten a lot of red capsules, she's like this? Oh, if that is the case, that's actually really cool. Because it's the exact same model, right? And you do get a ton of those little healing items, so it's easy to just be like, And yeah, like I was talking about earlier, like the whole pharmaceutical angle of like people getting addicted to pills or whatever. Oh my god. Okay, that's kind of cool. She said no, no marriage, no arranged marriage, no nothing. She's kind of on a rampage. Oh? Oh no? What? Starting to feel a bit like the mummy. She'll even turn against her own sister.
お前は私のすべてを奪った。サクコもリンコもシュウも奪い、お父さんもお母さんも。私を返せ。
I want myself back.
奪ったすべてを返せ。
Is this... I love the way this thing like vocalizes at her. Shiromuku. Oh, completely was so taken by the the dramatic symbolism of everything that I kind of forgot to play the game for a second there. As you do. This is a very Dark Souls kind of design though, isn't it? I know that this game obviously has like kind of Dark Souls type of combat and there's some inspirations you can tell, but... Ugh, get axed. Let me ask you a question. Why are you such a bitch? Nope. Oh, she didn't like when I said that. She got rather still for a second there. Chop. Oh, she does have a counter-attack angle there as well. Whew. Yeah, what if I just like held down the button and gave you like a really big chop? Oh my god. Okay, the way that the aiming works when you have the axe in that kind of moments is a little weird. That's not just me being dumb. That's not the first time that's happened to me, I don't think, and it is a little wonky. Or maybe not wonky, but it has a tendency to be very, like, sensitive, I guess. Are you firing something at me? Yeah. Feels like you are. Oh! Shit. The floor is lava. Stop with your, like, wireless wizard attacks. Cocky bitch. Ugh, these things are the worst. I'm running out of stamina. Yeah. Like I said, when you run out of stamina, always the worst. And now I don't have enough stamina to dodge. Might as well use the bandages. You're so lame. Fuck you. Nope. Okay, so I am blocking because the axe can do that. Which, I never really kind of got used to the idea of a weapon having a block in this game. It always felt a bit weird. So I need to use I need to catch a little bit of time to myself to use a toolkit perhaps here. There we go. The block is kind of weird because it doesn't make any noise or anything, so it just kind of like glances off you and you're like, okay, I guess I blocked it. Oh, this is not good. She like throws up on her. God, Hinako's had a real bad time. Can I just chop before I stop? I do have a bit of a tendency to only use the heavy attack, so perhaps this is more of a light attack kind of situation. Yeah, get her ass, Hinako. She's very cool in her kind of like devil may care kind of attitude now. I'm quite cool about this Hinako. I guess I appreciate the rebel, you know. Oh my god, she's got like a wave of bullshit. What is this, a Final Fantasy 14 raid now? Dodge the exaflares? Can I dodge through it, maybe? No. I think I was maybe supposed to get up to her and chop her, not run away and then get washed away with the tide anyway. Okay, block. 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 Yeah, what the fuck? Okay, I guess I could just do that. But it does use up the durability of the axe, I guess. MVP though, great weapon. Would recommend to a friend. Hello. Yeah, I can also wave my hands around like a big idiot. Oh shit. I'm very ill from the jaundice. I'm very ill from the feminine wasting disease. No, I can't dodge in time. I was trying to there. Why don't I just give you like a really big chop? Yes, I even managed to get a counterattack there. Woohoo! Oh, I wonder what she was saying there. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it really does sound like she's saying something in particular. This is doing steady damage to me. No, stop swinging and use the first aid kit. Why did she not? She just swung her weapon again for some reason there.
絶対に
I don't understand that.
認めない
Because I didn't press the button again. It must have like queued up.
きな粉を渡したりなんか
That was nonsense.
しない
Okay. Does it just kind of like reset to the beginning, I guess? Or reset to the start of this segment, I guess, of the fight. That was kind of bullshit though, because I did not press the attack button that one time extra when she decided to do one more swing before the heal, and that was kind of the deciding factor. She's actually just regenning now, I've noticed. I'm getting all my health back. I wonder if that also changes the ending, perhaps if you like, if you fail at the final boss fight once, perhaps that like changes things, I'm not sure though. Video games have a tendency, if they have multiple paths, for a lot of the things that decide what path you're on to be kind of near the end. Oops. Oops. Oh, did I run out of my axe? Oh, I did! I ran out of my fucking axe. Oh, this sucks. Yeah, I'm kind of still regenning now, so I guess I can just do this. Oh, I wish I had had like a little bit more of a a flashing on the UI as like a heads up that my axe durability was low. Oh well. Oh.
私
Alright.
は消えない消されたりしない
Okay. Hello.
お前
Oh, I only have the red pills.
消えるまで
Oh, the symbolism. There's something going on here. And everything's getting all like blurry. I kind of don't want to take the red pills though. Because they don't seem to be leading to a very nice outcome for Hinako. This is very interesting though. Oh, not this fucking bullshit again. Ow. Oh my gosh, you got all sorts of wicked moves. When do I get wicked moves? I'm just kidding, actually. I was already the fox. I'm just gonna chop. I'm not gonna stop. I'm just gonna chop. If I'm supposed to be finding some sort of safe ground here, I don't give a single gosh darn heck. Okay? I'm not taking them. I've had enough. I've had enough of feeling like I'm controlled by things, quite frankly. She almost was a bit like, wait, where did she go? The boss had like a bit of a kind of, huh? Almost moment there. Get her, get her, get her, get her. Also, interestingly enough, I only have the steel pipe now. It's like even the developers were like, yeah, the steel pipe is kind of like a Silent Hill classic. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, I still have this maneuver. I wonder if they want me to use this. Big bonk! Another big bonk? Oh no, I could just also... Okay. Yeah, me too. I'm also done.
こんなところもこんな奴らも全てぶち壊してやる
More? More? Escape from the dark shrine. Oh, there's one little lady hiding over there. Oh, it's only red capsules on the ground. Oh, that's really creepy. Just follow the red capsules. Interesting though. Oh, oh, oh. This is quite... This is earlier in the game, right? Is it supposed to represent that, like, everything looking like this is because she's been taking these red capsules or something, yeah? Didn't I say, though, Ryukishi has a thing about, like, pharmaceuticals? Oh my god, I was right about that. I was so right. I just didn't realize how right I was. I'll speak to Hinako. Sorry, I didn't realize I was going to skip a voice line there if I ran too far forward. I can't really be bothered fighting everything, but I also kind of want to hear all the voice line. Classic video game problem. Okay. Yeah, so it's like all of the moments in the game that I've been taking, it's like I'm being led along by the red capsules. Oh, creepy! Okay, that's cool. For sure. She said it calmed her down? Oh. So, is it going to be revealed that, like, the town isn't even in... Ah! The town's not even going under, like, a change or anything like this. It's just all in her head. Iragirimono. Hello. Goodbye. What's up? I kind of ran into that. I also wonder if it's almost like when she's talking about something that stole everything from her, it's like addiction. I messed up. I didn't think half. How did Shu mess up? Also, she's already dead. Like, she's just basically on these pills now. Oh! This is so cool! I really like this. It's quite a fun little twist. Those pills do look tasty, though. Don't take them. Don't take them. Addiction is a hell of a thing. I was about to say addiction's a hell of a drug. That's the last thing you should say about it. I mean, true, actually. I was going to say that you shouldn't say that, but actually true. Oh, here's the zoomed out POV that I asked for as well. So I'm like, is this like the strung out drug addict Hinako ending I've got? You have achieved the rating of drug addict. Shit. Get out of our way. Cool. Oh, I think additional music done by Dai. I think Dai does some of the music for Umineko, now that I recall, and Higurashi. Also, Al Yang is the kind of head developer for Resident Evil Resistance from Neobards. He's a really nice guy. Cool. So the story, there's still things about the story that I don't know yet, but it started to kind of click a lot more for me at least. I think my overall impression of this game is like it's kind of picked up more towards the end here. I think the plot's great. Like I really like the plot so far, and I know that there's still more for me to uncover. I think it's as an actual like game, as in like the playing of the game, it's like a little weaker than I was hoping. The combat's not like terrible or anything like that. Like it's not like I'm saying the game is awful, but it's like kind of sometimes in horror games or maybe other types of games, if you've ever kind of got to a moment where you kind of want the combat to hurry up and get over and done with just so you can see more of the plot of it, I feel a little like that. Although I suppose that's rather a classic survival horror thing, where a lot of survival horror games in the past, if they go on for a bit too long, they kind of suffer from that. But overall, it's a good game. And I still would have liked to have seen like inside, like, oh, wouldn't it be so cool if there was like more moments inside like the homes of your friends and kind of like navigating through their households.
米川により県警本部県道8号線にて当該事案の被疑者と思わしき女性に襲われた男性2名のうち
Wedding
1名は現
massacre.
在心肺停止の状態。
神楽町一より県警本部一部被害者に使用された包丁ですが敷地内からは発見できず被疑者は現在もこれを所持している可能性が高いと思われます。どうぞ。
We better consider her. Oh shit!
女性被疑者は20代です。花嫁装束。
In her 20s and wearing a wedding
身長は
dress.
160センチメートル少々。常吉神宮より逃走中。凶器を所持している可能性が極めて高い。各局はくれぐれも慎重に対応されたし。
神楽町一から県警本部。被疑者は赤と白のカプセル状の薬のようなものを犯行時に断続的に服用していたとのことです。
Is Hinako in her
神
20s?
楽町1。
I thought I'd be a bit
そ
too
れは
old
式
for
場
her.
内で発見された正体不明のカプセル薬と同一のものか。どうぞ。
神
Shit!
楽町一から県警本部。
So she's supposed to have gone on like a homicidal rampage? When she was supposed to get married? And she's addicted to these pills. Or maybe the pills made her go on the rampage. Oh shit! So that maybe that's kind of the implication of like some of what she's seeing is obviously metaphorical or not real, but she's like she's actually freaking out, like she's actually mentally unwell. And she's when she a lot of the kind of final scenes where she was like, I'm sick of all these people, or I'm sick of all of you, or whatever, that's her supposed to be in like a rampage at like a wedding. I don't know if I kind of misheard and misread that. Did it not say that the suspect was in her 20s though? I thought Hinako was like a high schooler. So is it supposed to be like she's older than she is appearing, or like she's kind of reliving her teenage years but she's actually like a grown lady? I was a little bit busy kind of taking it all in, so I might have misheard that or something, though. Apologies if I did, but... Oh, cool! Okay. So, yeah, this is one of the things about Silent Hill F as well, is, like, people kept asking me what my opinion is of it, but it's kind of one of those games where you're not gonna have... To have a kind of more complete opinion of it, you kind of have to complete it. Ziz Studio, I love that. Or at least as much as I've completed it now to have like a first opinion. I know that sounds really dumb, because like, imagine asking somebody what's your opinion of a movie, and they're like, oh, I haven't watched the whole movie, only some of it. You're like, well, how can you have like a proper opinion of it? But there's many games where people are like, well, I didn't make it to the end because I just stopped enjoying it. But I had a feeling with Silent Hill F, I was like, oh, I have a feeling that my opinion will change, or I can't have a full opinion until I get to the end. But when I first started streaming this, people kept coming in and being like, what do you think? And I'm like, seems pretty cool so far. As I couldn't think of anything to say that didn't sound really wishy-washy, because I was like, I'm not sure yet. Not to blame anyone for asking, of course, but... That's probably Pay to Win UK, which is a localization company that I actually nearly applied for a job for. I don't expect this like Dynasty Warriors-ass guitar to come in. I don't know if Pay to Win always pays to win that much, actually, if you work for them, though, from what I've heard. But a lot of kind of translation that's done by like outsourced companies can be like that. I'm very, very thankful that like Twitch and YouTube has like picked up enough for me to be able to do this, because if I had like a career in translation, if you don't get into like a kind of fairly long-term role with like a bigger company or something, it can be really tough. It can be really tough. Not paid very well, unfortunately. And of course now there's all these people that are like, why invest in a translation department when AI will do it for us all in 10 years time or whatever? It's like... People have been saying that like a computer is going to be able to do all of that for us, and translators won't be needed anymore for like at least a decade by this point. A computer will be able to translate it for you and you won't need translators anymore. At least a decade people will be saying that, yeah, for sure. And it hasn't happened yet. And when people do shoddy translations, it really cheapens the quality of your work. The motion capture was beautiful, the way the game looked was beautiful, the acting was really well done for the characters. So far everything about this game is like a thumbs up for me. Just a little bit weaker on like the kind of level design and like the moment to moment going through the levels, but overall, good game. I am pleased, which is nice to say. Silent Hill F wasn't a complete stinker dud. Like a lot of the weird Silent Hill F, or sorry, a lot of the Silent Hill projects have been over the years that are like, this isn't great. Konami has decided to tap into the huge fan base, make some cool stuff for it again. Not always hitting the mark, but, or if not Konami themselves making it, but you know what I mean. You can now create save data from the completed game. You can experience changes to the story and have the chance to fulfill specific conditions to unlock new endings. Okay. You'll be able to play in the hard difficulty setting. Lost in the Fog. No, I'm good. Actually. Too hard. Apart from that, the puzzles were actually... I wanted the puzzles to sometimes to be a little bit more... Not like difficult, but maybe like a couple more steps to them would have been nice. But they were still alright. And I still enjoyed Silent Hill F quite a lot. Okay, so don't go anywhere, because there's going to be a little editing cut, and then it's going to be me watching the other endings. Okay, welcome to the portion of the video where I go through the endings and react to them and show you what I think of them. I am now armed with a lot more knowledge as well about what's happened in the game compared to previously when I did my first playthrough. My perspective of certain characters has definitely changed. Some characters have definitely been up to shenanigans in the background of Silent Hill F, that's for sure. Some people have been very naughty, which we will talk about as we go through the endings. But I believe I've got a video here from IGN that also has the final boss fight, which I think is quite integral to kind of representing what each ending, well, represents, quite frankly. And the first ending here that is not the one that I did is the Fox's wedding, right? So this ending... funnily enough, all of the endings, you're not supposed to take the red capsules, because if you take the red capsules, then the massacre happens. Red capsules that are given to Hinako by Shu all along, which we'll talk about later, yes. But this is the ending that Hinako goes along with the arranged marriage. She kind of like agrees to become the version of Hinako that will just marry into the family along with Kotoyuki, who is the fox man, which is the childhood friend, right? I think I forgot that while I was playing, but that's the name of the childhood friend. He's Tsuneki Kotoyuki. Oh, sorry, this is the first boss fight. Let me skip that. There we go. I was like, wait a minute. I recognize that scream. Here we go.
これは驚いた。まだ生き残っていようとは。
Yep.
私は認めない。こんなの認めない。
心を沈めて消え去りなさい。
Give into oblivion.
存在はもはやひな子を苦しめるだけ。
ひな子、私、清水ひな子は私。
So it's like there's two kind of personalities within Hinako now,
清水ひな子はも
which
う存在し
I
ませ
think I
ん。
had already kind of gathered that, but yeah. There's the just go along with the arranged marriage Hinako, and there's the
ここは
reject it
あなたがいて
Hinako.
良い場所ではありません。
Oh. Oh, I think that was like the final moment. She dropped her
このような日に
steel pipe.
一体どこからこのようなつきものが。
And the sister's also saying to her, like, you're harming Hinako the longer you have this rebellious part of you.
今払ってあげるから少し待ちなさい。お前は一体。
Yeah, like those two forces are very in conflict with each other, of course, right? And a lot of the notes that the doll writes to you change. There's like little changes in New Game Pluses for the different like things that happen as you keep playing through the game. Like some of the notes that the doll writes get a bit more like less vague, or at one point when the point where Rinko shoves you down the stairs, there's like a little bit of kind of red jaundice that the town gets, red decay or whatever, on the stairs. But the first time you play through the game, the stairs are just normal looking, which is, there's like little subtle changes. And these are like the kind of 5 offerings that are related to what ending you get that she smashes, I believe. Well, yep.
清水ひな子を取り戻す。
So I'm wondering who the boss will be for this then. Ah, I see.
私の全てを奪った。それは違うよ。咲子も凛子も。
Yeah, so I think I kind of theorized as well before, if I remember, that she might be talking about like the medication took all of this from her. But what they mean is like she has to move away and become like a woman. She can't just like hang out in the village anymore.
ごめんね、私。でも、あんたの気持ちはすべて私が受け止めてあげる。
And these are both Hinako. Like this version of Hinako is more mature in the eyes of society, but on the downside, she's kind of docile and she just goes along with what the fox husband says. Whereas the rebellious Hinako, you know, she has all these cool moments and she wants to try and be her own woman, but she's so kind of like angry about everything that she gets like wild, right? So there's supposed to be two extremes within her that have like good points and bad points, because she's supposed to be a conflicted person, but they're a little kind of exaggerated for that reason, because they're the extremes.
Kimi wa あのようなものに疲れてけなげに耐えていたのか。俺よくも平子に。
Cleansing Cloud no Jutsu! I find it quite interesting that the plot of this isn't so kind of just stay true to yourself, Hinako, and don't become the one that marries the guy. Oh my god, Shu. There's a little bit more depth to it than just like, just stay true to yourself. Oh my gosh. It's supposed to have parallels to when Hinako's mother protects the father, even though the father's being abusive. That's the parallels there. You can't always be hanging out with your teenage pals at school every day. Right, but you know, I don't think I need to extrapolate on that point, but it's like a part of her thinks it actually might be not wholly terrible to go along with the arranged marriage. And part of her thinks it would be great to also stay there with Shu. Otoko toshite, as a man. Oh, they didn't really translate it as that, but otoko toshite is like as a man, so it's like a bit of a kind of man's honor type deal here. She's like, no, I'll do it actually. This kind of concerns me. Wow, Shu must have really fucking put so much power into that one swing with the back, because he took Kotoyuki the fuck out. Oh my god, he's still struggling. Ironically, Shu's almost got a bit of a Rinko vibe now over Hinako. It was him. He's the one that gets her on the pills. Kaze gusuri. So it's supposed to say cold medicine, but
一番思ってるのは誰か気づいて欲しかった。
Quite a bad boy.
俺は何言ってんだ。相棒の大切な日を祝福できなくて何が相棒ってんだくそ。
So it's like part of him feels like the more mature part of Shu is like, I should be happy for you getting into an arranged marriage that will be good for you. But then there was a more selfish part of him, much like Hinako. There was like a part of him that just is like, why can't things stay like this and you can just stay with me? But he acted on that by giving her medicine that made her have like a mind break. And that's why you're not allowed to take red capsules to get the other endings. Otherwise you end up going on the rampage at the wedding.
幻滅などするもんか。今度は私に相棒に幻滅させようとするのか。いい加減にしろ。よくも今日私たちをめちゃくちゃにしてくれたな。
It's really impressive, honestly. Like, the game has not just gone for the actually the good ending is to go off with Shu and just be happy. There's layers to everything, and it's just so. Ryukishi has not missed, and I'm very chuffed about that.
俺なんかほっといて逃げろ。
戦うぞ相棒。そのおかしな宇宙人野郎を私たちでぶっ飛ばそう。
So the final boss of this ending actually is not Fox Hinako that accepts the arranged marriage. It's kind of Shu is the embodiment. Tsukumogami. Also, thank you. I'm quite appreciative that IGN has a video with the Japanese voice acting, because there's one or two other videos that has the English voice acting, but it has the other endings and the boss fight in it. You don't have to watch every single moment of the boss fight necessarily, but I think the final boss is so integral to what each ending represents that it's really, really nice that they put that in the video. Oh, mind you, there's so many good little voice lines actually. Maybe we should watch them.
レーザーガンどうするか。引き金を抜くと音と光が出るやつ。
Talking about their like alien space wars past, which is quite cute. And like I said, I'm pretty sure I said this previously, like there's definitely a sense of not going along with the arranged marriage is also kind of like embracing the childhood Hinako and the childhood friendship with Shu more. Reject adulthood, embrace high school memories. The vibe. I think it is supposed to be, though. The one thing I was still a bit unclear about is like she's actually supposed to be 20 years old in when she goes on the wedding massacre. So I guess this is like kind of a reflection. I don't know if this is like a reflection of the past or what necessarily. That's the one part of the story that I'm still a bit like. Well, actually, there's one or two other things that I'm still a bit kind of processing, so to speak. Ooh, nice dodge. Okay, this is actually really cool, this boss fight, and I'm enjoying it immensely, but this is quite a long video as it is, so if we don't skip forward for any parts, then we will be here all day. Oh, here we go. wrong. Yeah, funnily enough, in some regards, by giving her the medication to help her not have to be helpless, you create a kind of helpless Hinako. There's also notes. There's notes that imply that Hinako and Shu both kind of want to keep their relationship as not like a man and a woman that might have feelings for each other, but there's little things in both of their heads that still can't always help having feelings for each other. But it's not just the case that they actually always loved each other in a romantic way. They actually do genuinely both kind of, in some regards, want to just be friends. But again, it's supposed to be like about being conflicted between two sides of yourself, so even their relationship has that. Because you was finally able to be reborn. So she's choosing not to hate him. Even though in some regards she could. Please give it a rest. More like please give me a rest. Beating him up. Chop. Chop. Oh. Wow, okay. I skipped forward 5 seconds and the entire world changed. That was a very heavy 5 seconds, huh? Again, final boss fights, very cool design. The bosses in this game are cool. Sure. Many great elements. Anata wa Maniao dame. Shinjiru or shinjicha dame? Don't believe. It's all useless. There's a lot of conflicting statements. Damasarete, I think I saw there, which is like to be fooled. Damasarete. So it's all like, maybe it's related to like the different letters and notes in the game. Might be a bit late for that one, Shu. She is going for it. Rawr, 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 rawr. But yeah, sorry, I'm actually quite transfixed by this cool moment, but here we go. Thank you. So in a kind of funny way, it's not only about Hinako defeating the Hinako that wants to stay with Shu, it's about defeating the Shu that wants Hinako to stay, and thus the other side of Shu can become more like willing to accept that this could be a good thing for Hinako, or this is the choice that Hinako has made. Not necessarily a good thing, because I don't want to imply that the arranged marriage is actually the correct choice or anything, but
Kotoyuki-san, 俺の相棒、あんたにしばらく預けるぜ。しばらくのつもりはないのだろう。
he was like, what do you mean by shibaraku, as in like for a period of time? Forever.
100発殴ってやるからな。
ひなこは私のものだ。もはや君のものではない。
She belongs to me.
いや、俺の相棒なんだから俺のだ。貸してるだけだ。
And they're both talking about, yeah, who she belongs to?
私と
I
君
don't
は
belong to either of you.
世界で最も彼女のことを理解し、大切にしようと思っている二人だ。良い友人になると思うのだが。
He's going for a fist bump instead. This is so anime and silly, but I kind of can't help but smile. It's so silly. He's like, what is a fist bump? What is this? What is this bro's broing out moment? What the fuck? That was so funny and silly. Oh, you know what, bro? You're alright. What the fuck? Now, fellas. Don't fight. But also, never refer to me as your thing ever again, or I'll claw both you. Or claw both your eyes out where you stand. Do you understand? But again, it's supposed to represent that. The way that people sometimes romantically think of others. I review that as a parallel. By the way, he's hot, etc. Oh no, he's hot. It's like a parallel to how Rinko and Hinako and the discussion over Shu. It was almost like Shu's feelings didn't necessarily count when they talked to each other about it. Do you remember I made that point way earlier in the playthrough? The two lads talking about Hinako, about whose mono, whose object thing belongs to who. Shut her out of the conversation. Oh god. Oh god. Stomped out. Okay, so this... That would be the next ending, right? So, I'm kind of glad because this ending kind of makes it seem like there's quite a lot of positive connotations for her getting rid of that Hinako and learning to accept the arranged marriage, and maybe Koto Yuki might actually not be a terrible husband overall. But I'm kind of glad that it ends on this because there's still a part of her that's like, I don't want to end up like my mother, and it's still a rejection of her own free will that has like a real sadness to it. So in some ways, I guess this ending's supposed to be a bit like how we all make choices in life, where sometimes when you kind of make that choice and it's not always a choice that 100% you get to choose from, there's a certain sense in life of kind of making the most of the cards you've been dealt with. Like, well, this is the way things kind of are, so I'm going to do this, and I'm going to try and be happy with what I've got, which is a very real human emotion, and it can help in a lot of situations, you know? But I like how there's still this kind of last moment where it's like, this is not all right. It's not all tied up in a little bow here, a little wedding bow. So this is ending number 3. The fox wets its tail. You don't purify the sacred sword, which is an item that you can only get in New Game Plus from like a divine tree that has 5 offerings and all this stuff. Also, don't eat any of those red capsules. Shoo. Handing them out like candy. Pest.
私が私であって何が悪いの？
何が悪いの？
私はまだいえいつまでも私でいたいのに。あなたの気持ちもわかる。不安よね。
In many ways, I think this is a very Silent Hill story.
乗り越えられるものなら
Because
乗り越えるかどうかは私が決めること。誰にも。
Ryukishi really likes this kind of concept of two parts of yourself being in conflict. And I remember reading about the music in Silent Hill 2, the original Silent Hill 2. The reason why so much of the music is like ba, 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 ba. It has like 2 tones that alternate, are supposed to represent the 2 worlds, and the characters being conflicted in Silent Hill 2, for example. So I think this kind of concept of 2 sides is very well served. with the plot that Ryukishi has written for Silent Hill F. It's all about 2. But yes, as you... Sorry, I probably should have said that... I don't know if I said earlier, but this is the going with Shu kind of ending. And it's the rejection of the sister saying like, no, no, this is what you should do.
清水ひな子が決断した。それが大事。
There's also, when you kind of get to this ending, there's you kind of get more information about, or by the time you've gotten this ending, there's more information about how the process where you go through the game and you like defeat the friends. Hinako's supposed to have this kind of impression that everybody hates her, which is very teenage, right? She's having problems in life and she decides everybody hates her.
殺したはずなのに、今さら私を惑わせるな。もう遅い。遅いも早いもない。これは決断。
See, now that Hinako
清水ひな子
speaks clearly and the other one seems a bit kind of like
私がした。私が求めるものは新しい性。お前は消えろ。
Basically, whatever Hinako she doesn't choose, that's the Hinako that gets the "that's crazy" Hinako status.
お前が消えろ。
Oh, the fox light
清
starts
水
light
ひな
up.
子に戻れ。
So this is quite similar to the first ending. Because it's the same boss, the Shiromuku. Oh, it felt like whoever was recording there like wasn't ready. And this is the sacred sword that they're using here, but it's not purified for this ending. Ryukishi's also managed to create a Silent Hill plot because there's actually a kind of background to Silent Hill F's plot about like kind of like a divine fox god that the village depends upon. And Kotoyuki is part of that. And much like the Silent Hill games, it can sometimes be a bit like, huh? To kind of keep up with. It's quite a common critique, I would say, or like a thought that one reason why people didn't quite like Silent Hill 3 as much as Silent Hill 2 is that it kind of went back to being more about the cult of in Silent Hill, pardon me. Whereas Silent Hill 2 moved away from the kind of cult plotline to be very much more of a character study. I think people though, when they talk about Silent Hill 3, of course they compare it to Silent Hill 2, which many people think is stronger, but I think Silent Hill 3 is still really good. There's still a lot of things about Silent Hill 3 that are really good. So I like to try and bring that up in conversation as well sometimes. It's like, I actually really like Silent Hill 3 in many ways. There's some things that Silent Hill 3 does that I prefer over 2.
花嫁にはふさわしくないワイだ。
あなたは一体何者なの？
その言葉はそのまま返そう。君こそ何者だ。ひな子に何がついた。どうやってこの聖域に入り込んだ。正体を見せろ。
She's like, this is my true form, bitch. I'm a little dolly.
ひなこ信じてたぜ、相棒。お前なら絶対に示せると思ってた。自分の本当の気持ちをな。
Oh dear. Not quite as gracious after he's been hit with the bat, because she didn't immediately run over to him.
どこから入り込んだ。
turning into a QB, right? Which if you grew up or have watched a lot of Naruto or read the manga, you might have learned what a QB is. I think it's originally from Korean folklore, but it appears in Japanese folklore as well. Nine-tailed fox. Oh my god, the lightning. The lightning is a little much. I can't love it though. So funnily enough, the missing posters will crumble to dust to be carried off by the wind. Like the missing poster of Hinako. So Dinko kind of plays by the rules of courtship, and she's frustrated because Shu doesn't seem to be interested in her, even though she's done a lot of the things quote-unquote right. And again, Ryukishi has a lot of characters that have parallels to each other. Kotoyuki has also abided by the rules of courtship and sent nice-smelling letters to Hinako, etc. But if her ultimate decision in this ending is actually I want to beat Shu, then he's like, well... There's a kind of both Shu and Kotoyuki, there's a kind of kindness that they want things to be good for Hinako in their own ways, but it involves their control. So Kotoyuki is like a part of her prestigious family, as you find in the notes, and even in the first playthrough you find notes relating to that. So he's like, I'll make it very easy for you, like you're not going to want for money. You'll have status. So it's not, there's like a malicious aspect to it, but it's not completely horrible to her. But in some regards, both of them require, both Shu and Kotoyuki require her to kind of give up a little bit of her own determination, because it's like, even if both men might want good for her, it's like they want what they think is best for her in some regards, and that what their impression of what is best for her is tainted by their own wants and desires too. It's a very human emotion, of course. And in some ways I think that one of the themes that Ryukishi has gone for here is that even if there is good sides to both of them that she could choose with, like to go with that, it wouldn't be like a wholly horrible thing. She's still kind of trapped in this, like, well, the men still kind of control her. It's still like a relationship between a man and a woman ultimately, and how society sets that up. Even if she decides to go with Shu, for example, which is a rejection of a lot of like the family setting up the arranged marriage for her or whatever, she still ultimately is kind of like having to give up her own self-determinism, because that's kind of how a woman becomes part of a relationship with a man. So there's like a kind of a real kind of nihilistic edge to it. There we go. Get to the kind of extra bits of dialogue.
何なりと言うが
私が欲しいもの、望みものはあなたと同じです。
それは何だ教えてくれ。
私の望みもの、それは自分の性を自分の翼で羽ばたく、そしてその行く末を
Supposed to spread her wings like a bird. Did you get it? I'm sure you get that by now. I'm in kind of like explaining everything status here, just to have you kind of go along with the process of my... Like, sometimes when I explain things, it's not necessarily even because I think people don't know who are watching, but it's like to go step by step, so that when I do react to something, you know the kind of process. Or you know what part of the process my brain is currently on when I say something, if that makes sense. Also, a lot of the time I make little mistakes, and people can correct me when I say something and they're like, no wait, that's actually so-and-so's brother, it's not some guy. I'm thinking about other games where like I've sometimes got plot details wrong and somebody's said to me in like Twitch chat like, no, not quite. But it's easy to miss these details when you're performing something. I'm actually quite glad that I'm recording this purely for YouTube though. I think it would be a lot more difficult for me to take in the grains of the story if I had 150 to 200 people at the side kind of chatting along with me. But sometimes it makes things more fun too, so it's not necessarily always a bad thing. You could say there's 2 Sinows! Oh my god, I'm the Silent Hill F.
自らの人生をあなたのように激しく生きたいのです。
女は男の求愛を受ける。
You see, a woman's happiness is not to be given a man's love. He's also been raised in this system where it's like, this is what makes women happy.
他の誰かに与えられるものじゃない。
Baby bird who will remain a baby until it flies. Like, in his mind, he's given her this like lovey-dovey, scented letters romance that's very sweet, and there's a part of her that does kind of want that. She kind of likes parts of it. But that's also one of the reasons why in his head he's like, I don't understand. I'm gonna give you like the easiest life, and this is what makes women happy, right? A lot of my dissertation for my degree talked about how men were kind of raised to be like, if you give women, if you like earn enough money and you do certain things, then that's how you become like a good partnership candidate for women. And then for a lot of men in Japan in the 90s, they lost their jobs and didn't really work out. So you stayed with me until the end, my love.
あなたの求愛を生涯忘れません。そしてありがとう。
Oh, he's tired.
平子、こっちだ、早く。
行きなさい。後始末は私の方でつけておく。
So it's like if the arranged marriage doesn't go through, the kind of matters with the village, etc.
だから、お前は俺とひな子の戦友だ。
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, because the child Kotoyuki.
私が宇宙人の役になって君を食べてしまうこともできるのだからね。
また会おう、戦友。
So it's kind of implied that there's like a... They could have been pals if they weren't pitted against each other. Sad Fox is sad. No, the village looks a lot more normal.
大丈夫か？
ありがとう。シュウが助けてくれなかったら、私は自分の勇気を保てなかった。
逆だろ。お前が自分の勇気を出したからこそ、俺はお前を助けようと思ったんだぜ。
その勇気を持つのに時間をかけすぎて、大勢に迷惑をかけた。
そのためにお前が自分の人生を諦めなくちゃならないってのは、俺はおかしいと思うぜ。
ありがとう、相棒。
I like how both of these endings, she kind of refuses to hate the man that she rejects. She refuses to hate them. And maybe that's a big part of being able to make that choice. And it's kind of funny now because in some regards after the first playthrough of this game, I would have interpreted this as like a good ending. But when you learn that Shu also had tried to keep her drugged up so that she would choose him. Bad boy. So, yeah, that's one thing that I'm still a little hazy on, but basically the occult maybe is the wrong word, but the kind of fox god keeps Ebisugaoka safe. And those geysers exploding and everybody having to evacuate is supposed to be like because the kind of rituals haven't been gone through, or there isn't like a kind of marriage of somebody from the village to like the next incarnation, I guess, of the fox god. I'm still hazy about this, like I said. The village is no longer protected, and thus these bad things happen. I guess in some regards, although that's supposed to be like a real part of the game's plot, it's almost supposed to be like the idea of like societally things are not as good around, like the village as a society doesn't prosper as much if she doesn't go through this arranged marriage. It's a rejection of that, and it's like a marriage for her and, or sorry, it's like a happiness for her and Shu only, but not for like the villagers who would kind of, there's some benefit for this arranged marriage going through. So the fourth ending is, this is considered like the true ending, the best one. No red capsule usage. You have to get the sacred sword and then purify it. And you have to offer a brooch as tribute to the ancient Jizo statue, which is something that apparently is quite well hidden and quite tricky.
Hinako. あなた、Hinako なの？
お姉ちゃん、私たちは誰かのおもちゃにされているの。
どういうこと？
私を嫁がせたい何者かと、それを妨害したい何者かが、私を二つに引き裂いて戦わせている。
Pitching you against yourself.
とても苦しい戦いだったけれど、私はようやくそれに気づけたの。人に望まぬ選択を強いること、それをせかすこと、私たちはそれと戦わなくちゃいけないって気づけたから。
Hinako is so well acted. Truly. Really great performances in this game. I'm not sure how the English voice acting is.
ごめんね、お父さん。 り親不孝者だと思う。でも本当に私の幸せを願っていてくれるなら、この暴挙をどうか許して。
It's quite different compared to the other endings, because in the other endings it's very much like she goes on a rampage at this point and then it kind of changes. This is the only ending where she's a lot more kind of hesitant here. Or not so much hesitant, but kind of a bit slower and gentler. I think she's more gentle is actually more what I would say.
私の選択、そして私たちをもてあそぶ者たちへの抗議。
Well, up until a certain point anyway. She still gets to do a little rampage as a treat, you know? But yeah, the notes reveal that I think it's also kind of important that it's not viewed as like both of the dudes are evil and Hinako should just be by herself, and that's ultimately what she wants. It's that she is conflicted. She does kind of want to be with Shu and Kotoyuki and herself. Oh, 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 oh. This is going to be the world's most awkward hug. Yeah, it's like something is forcing both sides of Hinako to try and fight. There you go. For a minute I forgot that he does that when he does some sort of like magical power, and I thought he was going, shh, quiet down. Stop making so much noise.
稀に人里に真意を宿した希少な血を持つ女子が生まれることがある。そのようなものが里に現れるたびに我らは一族の跡取りにそのものを嫁に欲するようまじないをかけた。
何を言って
歴代の跡取りたちは皆うまくたぶらかしてめとってきたが、こたびの跡取りは下段だ。
Oh wow. Apparently you've been crap at this.
人間の娘一人たぶらかせぬようでは未熟が過ぎる。
That's the thing, it's not actually about him, but that's the whole recurring theme in this game. It's actually because she's so strong of will and she's decided this. And that's one of the things, it's like she kind of understands that he tried his best even though he was being controlled, because she kind of understands a bit like what that's like. But I'm a little bit more hazy about the details of like he's being controlled by the fox, the kind of fox god curse. Or at least I choose to interpret it as, it's not necessarily that Kotoyuki is weak, it's that Hinako is strong. She has the strength in her in this ending. But again, recurring theme of people making decisions or thinking things are the way they are, not because of her. And now she has to defeat both of them. Which is really cool, actually. It's very cool. And the one inside this god now is actually the doll, not Shu, necessarily. They say a woman finds happiness when she's loved by a man. Those magic words don't help me feel better at all. Quite a lot of societal, like kind of modes of thought within society sometimes feel a bit like if people keep saying it enough, it starts to become true, if that makes sense. It can be quite frustrating, I think, actually, in my opinion. Where it's just like, oh, things are bad in a certain way in society because that's the way society is. It becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it can be really frustrating to try and break that because it's like, how do you break something like that? By becoming like weirdly ignorant? Sometimes it feels like you have to kind of practice a certain kind of ignorance of that's the way things are currently in order to try and change them, which doesn't feel quite right. But again, the alternative is what? That's just the way things are, so it's just the way things always will be. Well, obviously that's crap as well. It's just a couple of like things about like societal like violence or society's ills that when I thought about like how do you change this in like a wider people's mentalities about things. It's like, do you stop saying that's the way things just are? But then what about people who are still suffering under it? Do you just kind of ignore it? It's a rather big conversation, but it's tricky. I did a lot of kind of my degree went in a very sociological direction because I'm very interested in it. I also like how it's the two Hinakos here. So this Hinako is the one that doesn't have the crazy arm, of course. Oh my god, he's got like a limit break and everything. Can't get a rest, can she? Very cool. Oh gosh. It was a bad time for me to skip forward because she just went, yeah! I do really like how it's kind of like a combination of the two other endings in some regards, though. It feels very final for that reason. Yeah, get him, Hinako. So this is like Hinako is the also having the magical powers. Heaven forfend that. Heaven forfend that a girl be involved in a love triangle without fucking deities getting involved. Isn't it crazy enough in this world for a young girl without village deities and all this shit getting involved? Christ. It's so confusing sometimes to be a girl. I believe Charlie XX was thinking about... She must have had like a preview copy of Silent Hill F all the way back then when she wrote that song. Okay, very cool, but yeah. Let's get to the end here. I really did think that doll was the sister, huh? But I guess the sister in some regards is like the... I grew up, so you should too. Angle. Even though this is both just Hinako, it's kind of nice to see the two Hinakos work together. She said "ishoni," which is like together.
私は君に全てを与えたつもりで、君が一番欲していたものに気づけなかった。私も君と同じものが欲しくなったのだ。君への愛は酔狂なまじないによって生み出されたものではない。
It's quite a sweet thought. I think he also kind of realizes at this point that there's this, the freedom to choose by one's own will. Is what he wants to. And this ending, he kind of recognizes that. What an unexpected, what a bizarre esoteric journey to lead up to a moment here, which is quite sweet. In some ways, it's two young people realizing the crazy, weird bullshit that society puts them through. And when you think about it, the first ending when she goes on the massacre is also supposed to be like, if she kind of refuses to make a decision and she just says everything is kind of crap in like a huff and then she tries to burn it all down. It kind of, the more this conversation implies, it's like she might choose him. He might earnestly love her, not just as like an arranged marriage thing. But she just wants to be able to choose by herself. Because just running away from it all is not necessarily the answer either. The days have grown warmer where I am. What is it like in Ebisugaoka? I can still recall... Sorry, it took too long to start reading. I can still recall the startling beauty of dandelions peeking out through cracks in stone walls. I would like to express my appreciation for the letter you sent me. It was quite enlightening. I will follow in your footsteps and start by simply trying to enjoy life. As per your recommendation, I purchased sauce-flavoured senbei for the first time just the other day. It must have been quite a sight to see a man dressed in a suit buying cheap rice crackers and eating them with children outside the candy store. The children laughed when they saw me, saying that real grown-ups don't buy such cheap snacks, and so I explained to them how I wasn't able to eat many treats as a child, which is why I'm eating them now. When they heard that, they began swarming around me and telling me all the different delicious ways you can eat sauce-flavoured senbei. Though I must say I was taken aback when a child suggested I try putting strawberry jam on it. Oh, I feel like there's a note that mentions that in the game, but I can't remember. Imagine such a scene, a full-grown man eating snacks with children. While I was rather embarrassed, I felt like I had regained part of my lost childhood. I intend to become reacquainted with my inner child, discover my own dreams, and live life to the fullest. And once I've done so, I hope to reevaluate my feelings for you. Line. Really gotta get that manicure.
私たちの人生どんな風に生きようね。琴雪さんみたいに生きてみたい。誰かをものすごく好きになって、その人のためにものすごく努力して、情熱のすべてを注ぎ込むような一途で一生懸命な生き方をしてみたい。
To not just feel like a puppet on strings.
今度は私から琴雪さんに求婚するくらいの勢いで一生懸命に。私はまだ決まってないけど、とにかく何かに一生懸命に。何それ。
And maybe if Hinako did decide to marry Kotoyuki, her choice would also be like, I don't want to like completely cut off the Shimizu Hinako that is part of that village, that town, and had friends from childhood, you know? I don't have to stop being friends with Shu if I do decide to marry Kotoyuki because I decide.
私たちだけで行く末を決められる。
Ryukishi, man! He knows how to write a really interesting take on romance and relationships, tell ya. Play Umineko! I should also play Higurashi, so I've got you to talk.
ここは私たちだけの静寂の恵比寿ヶ丘だね。
It does slightly feel like, yeah, it's definitely implying that she would lean more towards perhaps marrying Kotoyuki overall, and perhaps choosing to stay friends with Shu. Like there's just so much value to her friendship with Shu that she doesn't really necessarily want that to become romantic, but it's still very important. And then finally, because this is a Silent Hill game, there's one more ending that how could anybody forget? There's one more ending to go. Perhaps the most important ending. This is so cool.
やはりこれは奴らの仕業かもしれない。
奴ら?
It's like a manga from the 80s or something, actually.
奴らは地球をずっと狙っている。そして隙あらば人間をさらい。
Oh my god, the aliens were real!
子だって俺だってひな子だってひょっとしたら本人の
Anybody could be an alien pretending to be the real person.
私は宇宙人じゃない。
Classic Rinko. I'm not a fucking alien. There's a way to prove. Robocop, an anti-extraterrestrial search and destroy robot I designed and built. Oh, that's great. Oh, the battery's out. Well, never mind.
じゃあ、そいつに殺されたあの作子は宇宙人？
私、そいつに追いかけ回されたんだけど。ひな子に宇宙人の匂いがついてたみたい。 ひなこが宇宙人かもしれないし、ひなこの身近な友人が宇宙人かもしれない。あいつらは記憶までコピーする。でも完璧じゃないな。
She knows it all.
何か
Try saying something only you would really know, Hinako.
リンコ
once took some of Shu's hair and hid it inside her pillow. Let a girl try out a love spell and dream. Okay, Rinko, say something that only Rinko would know. One time, Hinako forgot her underwear in the locker room at camp and didn't claim it. Excuse me, Shu. Privacy wasn't really a thing in the day. One time, Rinko skipped gym class and took Shu's clothes and... Oh my god. I think I'm more scared of girls than aliens at this point. Yeah, they've passed the test now, you can stop. One time Shu ripped a page out of an adult magazine and hid it behind his bookshelf. He also got a photo of a classmate's head and taped it to a swimsuit model poster. Shu! Oh my god, these guys are such good friends that's kind of biting in the back. Sakuko first started wearing a bra in 6th grade while Hinako and Rinko started after summer break in 5th grade. Late developer. Yeah, get his ass. Cross the line. He crossed the line, for sure. That was cute. An enemy to all women. Uh-oh. That's not my favorite. That's Junko's favorite. Teehee. Yes, there's the Shiba Inu. It was you all along. Wari. The end. That was very cute. God, when you see all of the ants in the game's entire playthrough, it's like, it's really nice to see them be pals for 5 minutes. Sounds a little bit like I feel love, I feel love, I feel love, I feel love. Sounds a bit like that. Hooray! That was a really well done little joke ending. It's very endearing. Very charming. Cool little manga designs. But yes, I would still say my estimation of the game, yeah, still, I already thought it had a really great plot, so it hasn't really changed that much from what I said when I completed my first playthrough, and what I think is like the weaker aspects of the game, and what the stronger aspects of the game is. But I'm overall, like I said before, I'm pretty sure I'm very pleased. That Ryukishi managed to write a really cool story. And it had a lot of kind of depth to it, and it kind of dealt... I think some people, if you only played to the first ending, like I was originally thinking I might do, it would have been a bit of a kind of M. Night Shyamalan twist of, oh, it was all fake because it was all the red capsules. Like, I think I thought the red capsule twist was cool, partially because I knew that that wasn't the end of the plot. If that was, like, the only ending, if that was it, it would have been a bit like, well... it's kind of a bit been done, if that makes sense, but I'm glad that I did all the endings in the video with you all, although trying to record my actual like gameplay through the game repeatedly would have driven me a little insane. So ultimately I think this is the best way of doing it, where I'm still obviously aware of what happens during the playthroughs as part of this ending, or each ending. But I'm very glad that I didn't just stop at the first one. Because yeah, I still thought the first ending was kind of cool, but I've seen one or two people describe it perhaps as a bit of a kind of M. Night Shyamalan twist potentially, and I'm like, yeah, it could be. If that was the only one, yeah, a little bit. But it's kind of only with the other endings do you kind of get the further knowledge that that first ending is supposed to be. What if she decides to just say, this is all bullshit, and just run away from it and not pick either guy and just kind of, everybody hates me, I'm gonna just blow it all up, I hate it, and it's all kind of related to her being under the influence of the pills too. It's like you can't just run away from it all. You want to make a decision, but you want to have your own determinism behind it. So that was Silent Hill F, which I have now finally completed after months, basically. But I think I've learned some things during this playthrough going forward for the channel for the next year, that maybe games like this, it would be better to just kind of do them on YouTube, and I would like to kind of play through them a little bit quicker, but also there's certain things about, you know, like not having to do the gameplay of me playing through every ending that I think still makes sense for me, so I don't kind of get this weird expectation on myself that I have to play every game for a billion hours and record every part of it, and then I'm like, it's going to be a 20-part series and it's not going to do that well on the channel, it's going to stress me out. So it's been a learning experience for me as well. Silent Hill F. What does the F stand for? Forget it. Bye.